Shorts just paid all my bills for the next few months. You know, I've always wanted someone to show me not only how much their shorts make, but their analytics leading to right up when the shorts take off. That way I could figure out what clues to look out for, what metrics to focus on, and finally, why do we all have these flat lines? And now that I can see all that in my own analytics, I can share it with you. But first, the money. Let's take a look at my top performing shorts. Okay, I'm gonna show you how many views they got, how many subscribers they got, and of course, how much each short made. So the first one I posted 35 days ago, and it got 7.5 million views. It got 13.7 thousand subscribers, and it made $1,265.21. Real quick before I move on to the next one, you see this little part of the graph here? You're gonna start to notice a pattern. And luckily, right around 12,000 views on this short, I started taking screenshots every day. Not only of this short, but of all the following ones. So you can see the growth day by day, rather than what YouTube shows. I hate it. This doesn't help me. All right, on to the next one. The second one got 5.9 million views. It got 22.4 thousand subscribers, and it made $733.63. Starting to see the pattern in that graph. The next one, never ever steal from Walmart. It got 7.7 million views. It got 25.9 thousand subscribers, and it made $1,263.33. Nice. All right. Number four. All right, number four got 9.5 million views. It got 21.8 thousand subscribers, and it made $1,252.31. All right, number five, worst mailman. It got 4.5 million views. It got 9.7 thousand subscribers, and it made $763.43. And as you can see, this graph broke the pattern. And I'll explain why here in a second, but first I just want to give you a little pro tip. Before I had these successful shorts, I posted one that didn't do so well. It did not perform well up until about day 16. Can you guess what happened on day 16? Day 16 was the day that my first short went viral, and after that you can see it dramatically increased. And it wasn't only the views that went up, it was the impressions. So YouTube was giving this one more of a chance after it felt like it knew my audience. All that to say, don't delete your old shorts, especially if you haven't switched to niche, because they all have the potential to do better once YouTube finds your audience. Let's jump into the analytics. What I really want to show you is what growth looks like before it happens. Like I said before, I took screenshots of all these videos. This was the first screenshot I took. It was the first video. I saw 12K. I got super stoked. I'm like, maybe I should document this, and I'm glad I did. Okay, so this is when I noticed a flat line between 11,000 and 12,000, which I had never seen before. I had seen plenty of 1,000 flat lines because that's what all my videos would do, and I know that the flat lines exist at 500 as well. Everybody experiences them. Let me explain why they happen. And then I'll show you what it looks like when a short beats a flat line. Okay, so flat lines happen when YouTube stops giving your video impressions long enough to where it can analyze the results of the impressions it just gave your video. So it'll give you enough impressions to get your video up to 100 views, just as an example. And then it'll stop and it will analyze the results. And if your video did good enough to get more impressions, then it'll give you enough to get you up to 500. And then there's the next level where you have the opportunity to flatline or move up. And so if your video did well enough, if people watched it long enough, if it got enough engagement, then YouTube will give you enough impressions to get it up to 1,000. And then it'll stop or it'll keep going and so on and so on. So once this one hit the 11,000, 12,000 flat line, I figured that that's where it would stay. I was happy with it and I decided to move on to the next video, which is what you should always do. Don't dwell on the results of one, it'll just slow you down. So when I was making my next one, the first one shot up to 20,000 views and it tested there for a couple hours, and I guess the results were fine because then it shot up after that. And then halfway through day 3, it tested up to 100,000, as you can see by the flat line here, and then it shot way up to 500,000 and beyond. Meanwhile, this next one flatlines at 11,000, but eventually, just like the first one, started to pick up, then it kept going after that. And then video number 3. Basically the same thing, it flatlined at around 11,000, except this time it picked up way earlier. And then by the end of day 2, it was at like 75,000 views. At that point, I went to sleep and I woke up the next day and it was at like 200 Yeah, 228,000. So this one picked up even faster. And then number 4, it flatlined at around 11K for the first day. And then by the end of day 2, it was at like 300,000 views. So are we seeing a pattern? Because my theory here is that I was consistently putting out quality content, that I was rewarded with the algorithm taking less time to analyze the video. Because the next one, it didn't even flatline. It stopped sort of at 11K, but then it kept going. And by the end of day 1, it was at like 600,000 views or something. But that's when things slowed down because I stopped posting consistently. I was doing these little 4-day increments, and then I had a lot going on, and it took me 9 days to post the next one. And as you can see here, it's been 11 days since I posted that, and it has flatlined big time at around 45,000. It's important to note that this video had a similar length to the others. It had an even better average view duration, it had a great swipe rate, and it had a really good like to dislike ratio relative to the others. Every now and then it'll give it like a little boost just trying something, but it doesn't want to waste the time on me if I'm not gonna post another thing. If you stay consistent long enough, you can get rid of the flat line altogether. And so I was thinking, man, I wish I had more data to look at. Like, I would love to see a channel that posts consistently to see if they have a flat line or not. And then I thought, wait, I have access to vidIQ's analytics. So I jumped in there, and I guess I can show it. Sure enough, there is no flat line on any of these. I'm just looking back through the past week, 2 weeks. Yeah, nothing ever really flatlines. It just has like a little bit of a slow growth, but that's it. And since it's been almost 2 weeks since I posted that video, I guarantee the next one I post, the flat line will be back. So we understand what the flat line is, we understand how to get rid of it, and we know how to bring it back. Now I want to talk about shorts don't make money. I understand that it takes a lot of views to make money on shorts, and I'll get to that here in a second. But I saw this comment on Reddit that said, what people don't realize is that shorts only make pennies per view. That's just not true. If it was, I would have made $100,000 off those 5 shorts. What they probably meant was per 1,000 views. And even so, still wrong. Because like my niche, it's between 17 and 25 cents per 1,000 views. And when you hit a certain threshold, it lowers as the views get higher. So it bottoms out at about 13 cents per 1,000 views. So it kind of averages out to be between $160 and $200 per million views, which I understand seems like a lot of views for not a lot of money. I thought the same thing. Until I paid all my bills with it. And then I realized how much time I had wasted trying to compare long form to short form when I didn't even make I don't know what long form hadn't even come close to making me that kind of money. So yeah, once I let go of this stigma, I started to notice other channels doing the same, like Zach D Films, for instance. He began by doing these long form documentaries that look pretty successful, but now he puts out like 3 to 5 shorts a day, and it's the same niche as mine. How does he do it? He has like 30 animators working with him. And he's still hiring. The guy, he saw the potential in shorts and he built a shorts empire. Well, I'm gonna do the same. I've actually already hired my first animator. Don't let someone who says it's not worth it stop you from finding something's worth. The point is, I like shorts. They're neat. But you can't just be whipping out million view shorts, you know, it takes practice. You gotta learn a few things. Things that can be learned in this video right here. Get it? Because I'm pointing with. Watch the video and I'll see you in the shorts feed.